Hey guys, Bill coming back at you again with another video. Today we're going to be transplanting our little autoflowers into their final pots. Okay guys, so we're going to do a few things this video. We're going to transplant the little autoflowers. We'll take a look at the other autoflower. I think it's about 6 weeks right now that we super cropped a couple of weeks ago and did some LST and defoliating last week. We'll take a look at her and see how she's coming along. We'll look at the 8x8 tent, the Autopot grow, and also I'll be announcing a giveaway that's coming up very soon. Stay tuned to get the details on that. I think you're gonna like it. Okay, so first off, let's get these autoflowers into their homes. They're ready now. They need to get into a bigger pot so their roots can grow and so they can start producing me some buds. So let's take a look at them. Okay, so there they are. So they are 17 days right now, give or take a day, because the Skittles took an extra day. So this one here, this is the Skittles. Not too bad. This one here is the PK, I think. Yes, the PK. And then, of course, we have this one here, which is the early mist. So the early mist took a little bit of a different turn there. After, I think it was three nodes or so. Then instead of putting out another single node, it put out a double node. It's got 4 leaves coming out from the same node. So that's kind of interesting. And then the ones up top here, the newer nodes, they seem to be fine again. So we're going to get them into their pots. I got the pots ready. They're damp. I watered them this morning just to get everything going. Now I'm using a mixture for this. I usually just use straight Pro Mix HP. The place I usually get it from was out, so they had stuff called Sunshine number 4, which is almost identical to the Pro Mix HP, except for it doesn't have the myco. So what I did was I put a layer of Sunshine 4, I put a layer of Pro Mix HP, and then another layer of Sunshine 4, because I'm almost out of the Pro Mix. But I did want to put a little bit in there, just for the myco there, that the mycorrhiza, or however you pronounce that. I did want to put some into that because it'll spread out and fill this whole container anyway, if it's even useful in with synthetic newts, because I don't know, I don't think synthetic newts really need microbes. The stuff is readily available to the plant anyway, so it doesn't need the beneficial microbes to break that down, because it's not organic. So I don't know. If anybody knows more on that, feel free to comment, because that's kind of interesting. So I will put you guys up on the tripod and we'll start planting these guys away here. Now before I do that though, I do want to show you these pots. I got these pots from a friend that I met on here actually, and he has a website called as420.ca, and I'll put a link to that in the description. But these are 3-gallon pots. Now they're pretty cool because they have the ringlets already in them. So if you're going to LST or super crop and you need to tie it down or something, it's already got the holes there. So that's pretty cool. I like that idea. Plus I really love the handle. Now it's got carrying handles. One thing I don't like about handles usually is they come up like this, and then when your plant's growing out, if you're tying it down or something, sometimes that handle can be a real pain in the butt and it's just in the way. So these are just as effective, but they're down here below the edge, so they're not going to get in your way. So anyway, yeah, he sent me a few of these pots to try out. So yeah, they're very thin. This is actually what they come in, little tiny package like that. I've never seen them so small before, but that just shows you how thin they are. But they're supposed to be just as durable. And so I'm going to give them a try and see how they work. All right, so I'm just about to put you on the tripod. Friggin' hit the tray. Dropped the Skittles. Yeah, hopefully I didn't damage it too much. Might have bent it a little bit, but anyway, so I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod and get at these. Okay, so I already have one pot ready here. I'm gonna take that one that I just dropped and get her into the pot here. Try not to damage her because she did just fall sideways. Anyway, we'll just squeeze the cup a little bit, squeeze the bottom, put my fingers around the stalk and let the plant, the weight of the soil, pull itself out. So we got a nice root ball going here. Very nice. So we're just going to flip that up there, tuck her in there nice. And just stick some Pro Mix down around her. Now we want to make sure there's no air pockets, but we don't want to push that down too far. Okay. All right, so she got a little bend to her when she just fell there, but I think she's gonna be all right. Okay, so that's one done. That is the Skittles autoflower. All right, we're gonna get these other two done quickly. So just dig your hole. You can use an utensil or you can use your hands. I'm gonna go a little deeper with that. So this is the PK, so we're just going to very gently put our fingers around it, turn it upside down, little squeeze left on the bottom here, and she should drop right out. There she goes. All right, again, nice massive roots there, and you can see the way they're going around that cup looking for more room. So now we're going to give it to them. There we go, very gentle. There we go. Pack her in there. All right, that's number 2. That's the PK. And one more. Early miss. So this should be an interesting one to watch, where it's got that that little bit of a mutation there. I'm assuming it'll just grow right out of that. So we're just going to squeeze around here, squeeze around the cup. Not too hard, not enough to damage the roots. Get our fingers in around here. Upside down. Little extra squeeze, little push on the bottom there. And there we go. Again, really nice root ball there. Without damaging anything, we'll just slide her in there. Slick as shit. All right. Pack around that base there. Now just check underneath here, make sure the roots, make sure the leaves aren't on the soil, in the soil. Now see, one leaf here was in the soil in the cup, and looks like it got some damage to it, so we'll pull that one off. All right, so we're going to be doing some training on these, but not today. We're going to give it a few days to get used to their pots, and then we'll come back next week. We'll be doing some training on these, some LST and some defoliation. Now I really kind of want to get in here and defoliate some of this actually today, which I think I'm going to actually. So what I'm going to do is we have the 4 leaves coming off at that one node there, and they're covering everything. So I'm going to go in here with my fingernails. I'm going to pull one off. And two off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pop the other two off too. See all this, all these bud sites down here? Tons of them. I want to get some light in there. Okay. So it still has lots of leaves here, plus it has the two. These will be huge probably tomorrow or the next day. So they got lots of light, and there's lots of light down here, so this should start growing up and out a little bit instead of being all hidden. So anyway, that's all we're going to do today for that, though. I don't like to stress them too much right after transplant. So I'll set these in the tent now, and then we'll take a look at the 6-week autoflower that we trained and see if that needs any work done to it. Okay guys, so there they are in the tent. We have the PK up there. I did put in some tags so I wouldn't mess them up again. This is the Skittles here, and this is the Early Miss. And this is a solo cup pepper plant that I've been growing for months. And every few weeks it gives me a few peppers. So just little peppers, but it's kind of a cool, just kind of a fun thing I've been doing. And then over here we have the bush. So she is 6 weeks right now. She's really wanting to go into flower, and if we just leave her alone, she will. And if we pick at her too much, that'll slow down. That'll slow her down. So we don't want to. We want to get her into flowering. So I'm not going to do too much, but I am going to come in here and just pick off just a few leaves. A few of the bigger leaves that are covering bud sites. We're not going to take off a ton. I say that and then I get in here looking around, and yeah, we're just going to take off mostly just the older big ones that are blocking bud sites. We got tons of bud sites here. Like, it's just crazy. Now, the thing is, with tons of bud sites, it's all good and stuff. But like I mentioned in my last video, each plant has a finite amount of energy, a limited battery. So the more bud sites we have, chances are we're going to have smaller buds. We're just going to have a lot more of them. So now I don't know what is better, to have a bunch of little buds or a few big buds. I don't know. I guess that depends on how you like to grow, and that, I guess, would be your personal choice. The more you pull down, the more LST you do, the more super cropping you do, the more buds you're gonna have. So maybe you just want to go with just a little bit of LST, or maybe just bend her over once and super crop it, and just have, you know, like a decent amount of bigger buds instead of all these. I mean, let's see here. I think that's all I'm going to take off for right now, just that little handful. So I mean, we got, I don't know how many buds are there. Somebody can count those if they want to. Post it in the comments. Just a rough estimate. Yeah, there's a ton of bud sites there. So, and she's really healthy. You can see all the new growth because of the color. So she is still putting out new growth. All that light lime color is all new growth. Even on this big leaf, you can see yesterday it was probably here. And then you can see all the new growth that came out over the last 24 hours. So she's got lots of new growth going on there. And I got to get away from her, or else I'll just keep picking. So we're going to leave that one now, 6 weeks. So hopefully by next week she'll be fully into flower. She's got lots of hairs. lots of pre-flower hairs, and she's starting to try to bunch them up into buds. So I'm pretty sure by next week she'll be in full flower. So there's the 2.5 by 5 foot tent. Everything's looking pretty good. We got the plants transplanted, the seedlings transplanted, the Skittles autoflower here looks good. So let's look in the 8 by 8 tent. It's been a couple weeks since we went in there, so let's check it out. Okay guys, so I am in my 8 by 8 tent. I have some stuff out of the way here, moved around. This here is one of the Bruce banners, and this is one of the green cracks. Now, these two are the ones I took out of the Autopot system last week, and I've been feeding them with runoff every day. Now, there's still some yellow on here, and there's some dying leaves there, but that is pretty much all stuff from the stuff that was already damaged. Now, even though there is some yellow still on here, she is totally in recovery, as is the Bruce banner, and the Bruce banner has more green on it than it ever did. So we're definitely on the upstroke here, and yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now, the ones that were still left in the Autopot, we can see the Autopots are empty. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to wash them up, put them aside for a couple of weeks here, and I'm going to basically do the same thing with the other 3 that I'm doing here. And let's go out on the deck and look at the other ones. Okay guys, so I'm out on my deck. We have the Bruce banner, and then we have this and this, which are both the green cracks. Now, with the Bruce banner and this one, I've already taken off. I've taken off all the yellow dead leaves. Now, I haven't taken off all the yellow leaves. Anything with some green left in it, I've left those. Basically just taking off anything that will come off with just a slight touch. Like this one here, for instance, it's completely devoid of all chlorophyll, and it just barely touch it and she'll pop right off. So I will have to go around and take these off. See, barely touch that, and it comes right off. So so I'll go around and do that, and then what we're going to do is, and I've already started flushing these two. You can see the floor is wet there, and I have just a 2 gallon watering can with just tap water. This isn't pH, this is just tap water. Now what I'm doing is I'm just filling it up to the brim. Now, I've already did this 3 or 4 times on these ones, and I think I've done it once on this last one. And yeah, we're just going to give them a really good flush. Now, I was reading on these two, and they say if you do plan on flushing, I'll get these dead leaves out of here, don't need that in there. So if you do plan on flushing the Autopots, the salt buildup is usually at the top of the soil, the way it works, the way they explain it. So if you're gonna flush your Autopots, flush them well. Don't just put a little bit of water at the top, because what that's going to do is it's going to push any salts that are trapped up there at the top, which is basically your driest section. And you're going to take all that, the salt build up there, and you're going to push it down into the root. So you really have to make sure that you push the salt all the way out. So make sure you give it, you know, these are almost 5 gallon pots. So I'm going to give them each probably at least 10 gallons of water. And I'm just going to fill them up. I'm going to let them sit and drain out. And then I'll come out and I'll do it again. I'll fill up my jug again. I'll split it between the 3, and I'll do that as many times as I think I need to in order to give these guys a good flush. Then we're going to put them in on some trays, and I'm going to let them dry up for a day or 2, and then we'll just start feeding them the can of nutrients from the top till runoff, and just make sure they're not sitting in the runoff. Oh, look what I picked up. Just being out here for that long. Now, hopefully that's all I pick up and not any other bugs, but they won't be out here they won't be out here long at all. So yeah, so I'm going to continue to do this, feed them from the top till runoff, and see if we can bring these back and still get a decent harvest out of these. Okay, so here we are. Everything is going and growing. Let's take a look at the Autopot grow. Okay, so first off, I just want to talk about a little bit about what I've done, and I think you can see here what I've done. I took them out of the Autopot system altogether for now. I think I figured out what my problem was with the extreme yellowing, and I think that was just, I started off with too high a nutrient. My EC was too high at first, and plus with the Pro Mix, it wasn't drying out in between waters. So by doing this, I can water them in the morning, and by the next morning, they're almost completely dried out. They get one watering per day, and that's it. So this seems to be helping a lot. Okay, so we can see this one and this one I took out of the Autopot system. It was a few weeks ago, and we got lots of nice green here now. They've popped back pretty darn good. So, and we have some really nice looking colas here. Really frosty. Let's see if we can get in here. Really frosty buds. Now this one is a green crack, and this one is a Bruce Banner. So the Bruce Banners, they started off quite small because of those issues that we were having with the Autopots, but the buds seem to be really plumping out pretty good, and they've still got a few weeks to go to fatten up and finish off. So now let's look at the back three. Now we have this one and this one are both green cracks, and this one is the Bruce Banner. Now we can see a big difference between the color of these. Now again, I believe I know what I did wrong with the Autopot system, which is fine because that's what it's all about. It's all about learning, and that was my first grow with it, and I think I figured it out, so next time I won't make the same mistakes again, and I will be doing it again for sure. So anyway, just in the last few days since I've taken them out, I've seen a big difference. I was pretty sure that this one and this one would lose every leaf on them. They were all pretty much completely yellow. And now I'm starting to see some green coming back in there. Starting to see some growth in the buds even. And so I'm pretty happy about that. So, and also again, the Bruce Banner here, it's starting to really plump up its buds pretty good. Let's take a look at this. This is crazy. Look at that. That is beautiful. Really nice. So yeah, they're all super frosty. I was also worried too because there wasn't a whole lot of smell from these back ones here, and now this room is smelling amazing. And so unfortunately we had to take them out of the Autopots, but I'm glad I did because I wanted to get some sort of harvest out of this. And now just with these 5 plants, I'm seeing a pretty decent harvest here again. So I'm pretty happy about that. So let's take a look over here at the Webb. Here we go. So the Webb, this is a Blue Dream, and she's doing really well. Now again, she was in the Autopot at first. I took her out, and I've had her in the Webb for I think a few weeks now. So yeah, she's doing really well. She's only a few weeks into flower, so she's got a ways to go yet. And but the flowers are already starting to plump up some. Again, we get some really nice crystals, some nice trichome formations going on there. And the Webb is working perfectly because you can see everything is just spread out nice and even. The canopy is pretty flat, and that's awesome. And the thing is, if I need to get to the back of it, all I got to do is just grab it and just turn it. And now I got the back over here. I just bring the back to me. So what do you think of this contraption, the Webb? Well, I'll tell you what, how would you like a chance to win one? Me and the owner of the company, we're going to be giving one of these away for free. So I will go into more detail a little bit down the road, because this is going to be a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. Now I think I'm at what, 45,000 right now or something close to that. So hit that subscribe button, share these videos to everybody that you know, get them to subscribe. Once we reach that 50,000, then I will be giving you more information on how you can win one of these beautiful Webbs. I mean, this is amazing. I love this thing. And not many people have them right now because they're pretty new, but pretty awesome. So yeah, the Blue Dream, she's doing amazing. I think she's gonna be a huge harvest by the time. She's got probably 5 weeks left to her, and she's already starting to bulk up pretty decent. So pretty happy with that. She's under the TSW 2000 from Mars Hydro, and the Autopot X Autopot Grow is under the Mars Hydro FC 4800. Beautiful light. Now a few things that I did rule out by doing this experiment, by taking them out of the Autopots, is I ruled out that the nutrients weren't the problem. Nutrients were fine, because I'm using the same nutrients now as they are right now. That's working out great. The light, I was wondering if the light was too bright. Nope, that's not the issue. So by doing these experiments, if you find something wrong, and then you can take something out of the equation so that you can narrow down what is wrong, that's sometimes what you got to do. So even though I'm pretty sure I will lose a little bit of yield because of the yellowing issue that I had here with these guys, now I know, and I learned, and I love the Autopot system, and I want to be able to use it, and now I can use it more effectively next time. So it's all a learning game, and again, I'm always learning. Seems like lately I'm learning a lot because I'm trying different things that I've never tried before. Okay guys, so that's it for this one. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to have a chance to win the Webb. Very awesome. One of my favorite things in the tent is the Webb. The versatility is just amazing. Now also, if you want to check out any of the equipment I use, any of the seeds that I'm using, the seedlings, or the Webb, the Blue Dream, and the Webb, the green cracks, or the Bruce banners, I have links in the description for ilovegrowingmarijuana.com, where everything here in the big tent is from, and also the Skittles Autoflower is from ilovegrowingmarijuana.com. The Early Miss is from Crop King Seeds, link in the description, and the PK is from Sonoma Seeds, link in the description. So if you want to check them out, and of course the Mars Hydro's lights that I'm using, I have a link for them too. There's also a code there that if you enter the code at checkout, you will save yourself a few dollars, and who doesn't like that? So okay guys, so thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you on the next one. Happy growing.